Welcome back to another episode of Positively Uncensored, your favorite reality TV and interview podcast. What a day, what a morning, because I've been trying to dive into the Love is Blind season 9 cast reveal for Denver, and I have had no shortage of technical difficulties along the way. First of all, thank you to every single person who watches my videos, tunes in for my lives, has their notifications on, and engages with my streams. All of you make this so much more fun to do. Also, thank you to every person who tuned in for part 1, tolerated the technical difficulties, and was supportive of me with my first sponsor and my first ad read. Not my first, but the first major one, right? Right. Now, I'm hoping that my microphone is better. If you watched the last live stream, then you know that I left the live stream from technical difficulties. My microphone was cracking. Nobody could hear me. So hopefully, as I'm speaking now, things are much better and you're able to hear me. Now, the thing is, if you're watching part 2, I already did at least 15 guys, at least 15 of the men. And the quote that I have coming to mind is Damson Idris. Lenny, Corval, Katisha, him, her, bodies, bodies. Because I just did 15 people. And not a one of them is going to be included in this video. Am I going to go back and redo all of them so that I can have things nice and packaged in one video? Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to pick up where I left off. And I'll let you know that I have not done any of the women yet. Dawn Oliver's in the chat. So is Kimberly, saying that I sound great now. Thank you so much for chiming in. If you wouldn't mind liking the live, just so that everybody else who was on before knows that I'm back on and live. I slowly see some more people returning. So as people join the live, I'm going to pull back up where we left off. Interesting. While I was gone, I did an update of my microphone. I did an update of my computer, of my browser. And as a result, I'm seeing a lot of different options that I hadn't seen before, which is super interesting. Okay, so I left off at this guy who I said when I watched the preview video looked a lot like Zach from Zach and Bliss's season. He reminds me of somebody who might be a cousin. He's tatted up, he's got the color tattoos. Let's see and meet Jordan. Jordan is 30 years old and a service manager. He is a Leo. He did not iron his pants for this, which tells me Jordan just kind of slides into things. For Jordan, patience isn't just a virtue, it's non negotiable to a single father to a 4-year-old. And that explains why he didn't iron the pants. Okay, fair. You can judge someone's character and how patient they are, he says. Jordan is looking for someone who will love his son like he's their own. Love that. Love that we have a dad. But because a lot of people don't want to date parents, he so far hasn't had much luck. Huda, are you listening? Because most people disclose this to the partners that they would like to date immediately. Jordan's best habit is eating healthy, but he's also well aware that his go-to chicken breast smoothie might not go down smooth for everyone. Oh my God, it's this guy. Okay. Do you make your son eat that? I know you don't. Come on. What does he get? That's what I'm having. I know it's gross, but just trying to get my protein in. Though he didn't graduate from college, Jordan has gone far in his career. He's very proud of that and values ambition almost as much as a sense of humor and good hygiene. I'm really sensitive to smells and body odor, which is very interesting because you start your day out with a chicken smoothie. Do you do some mouthwash after that? Let's look at Jordan's Instagram. He has 476 followers and he's only following 259 people. He also only has 6 photos. Okay, we can't tell too much about Jordan. I don't want to show his son actually, but it looks like he does have a photo of him. Okay. Let me take a sip of my water before I move on to the next guy, who looks very Denver. Denver loves the olive green or the sage green and they love the tan brown. They love brown, they love suede, they love green, they love the olive trench coat or whatever this is called that Hilary Duff wore and had us all obsessed with and going out to buy from Cinderella Story. The suede pants are quite a look, though. Okay, moving along. Logan is 35 years old and he's an account executive in a Capricorn. Logan is just a small town boy, and he'll tell you that by singing it to the tune of Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. That's right, he's known among friends for spontaneously breaking out into song at any moment. Family oriented Logan strives to strike up a romance in the pods with someone who will be excited to go home to Wisconsin and celebrate occasions with his parents, his family. He doesn't need to list everybody. He looks like he's from Wisconsin. He absolutely looks like he's from Wisconsin. Hmm. Let's see. He can't wait to be a parent himself, so not wanting to have kids is a deal breaker when it comes to dating. He's also turned off by people who don't take accountability for their actions after 4 years of being single. Logan's in the market for a partner who can own their mistakes, have tough, direct conversations that lead to self growth. Let's see what Logan's Instagram looks like. He has 1,130 followers. Okay, this was his Halloween costume. I was about to say I didn't notice that he had a neck tattoo. Logan reminds me of Dave from last season. I can't exactly put my finger on why, but that's just who he reminds me of. If Logan happens to have a sister who's super involved in his dating life, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. And we're back. Yes. Or do each of the exactly. I wonder how Love is Blind works. I'm seeing in the comments some people are wondering if the contestants get an intro paragraph for somebody or if they're going to have to disclose things. I don't think a single thing is told to them before. I think that they go in and every single thing has to be disclosed by their partner, because we saw that with Tyler, for example, and his relationship with Ashley. So that's my assumption. Moving along to Michael. Michael is in a very interesting color suit. Somebody who knows colors, please type what this is in the chat because I'm curious. But he looks nice. He looks nice, and he's not wearing those horrible boots. Michael's 41, a Cancer, and in medical sales. Michael's entering the pods ready to shoot a shot, and he's had some practice as he's a regular at Dave and Buster's. Every time he hits the arcade, Michael makes it his mission to beat the high score in the basketball hoop game, and he'd love to have his boss babe by his side cheering him on. When they put boss babe in quotation marks, I wonder if that's because that's something that Michael said, or I wonder if that's just something that they're quoting because it's a phrase. I'm super excited for her to come along and realize she's got a winner, he says. Fun fact, Michael has one small, big toe. Small, big toe, one small, big toe. Okay, I'm interested to see what that looks like. His heart, on the other hand, is huge. He absolutely loves love and takes pride in being someone his friends can confide in. I'm still laughing at the toe. I'm sorry. Entering into the experiment, he doesn't want another pretty face. He's looking for a beautiful soul. However, a great smile will also score points with Michael. The youngest of seven, he grew up as the baby of his family, but nowadays he helps take care of his friends' kids, which he really enjoys. Let's look at Michael's Instagram. Michael has 1,777 followers, and he looks good. I like this photo a lot better. This is him, presumably on a yacht in Malachi. um, My opinion is if you watched Married at First Sight, he reminds me of the type of personality that like MM was with, Brandon. Like, just because I can't tell if this is one of those drones that he's having follow him. It kind of looks like it is, or if it's a person, but he just sort of reminds me of Brandon. He's still good looking, but if you watch that show. Alrighty, moving along to Mike, who's 38, has his sleeves, the cuffs of his sleeves tucked up and starched cuffs. He is a real estate investor and a Pisces. Don't be fooled by his pretty face because Mike isn't afraid to roll up his sleeves and get his hands dirty. LMAO, is that why they made him do that? Okay, from building houses to conquering the real estate game, Mike considers himself a jack of all trades who loves to spread the wealth. I'm passionate about helping others and get fulfillment from seeing other people be successful. I like that. He can't hang with those who can't help themselves. Don't like that. Sounds like a bring yourself up by your bootstraps mentality. So we'll see. So anyone who gives off grandma vibes in the pods won't get a second date. That would be me. Ideally, his partner will share this growth mindset and be excited to experience new things together. This globetrotter loves to travel to new places, always looking for the best beaches, views, and meals, but balance is key. Mike wants a partner who takes care of themselves inside and out. I'm looking for a partner to be healthy mentally and physically. All righty, Mike. Okay, so when he says he wants to help people have success, he's saying that in a different way than I was picturing because I think he means like cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Like I'm getting that type of vibe from him versus community work or supporting a nonprofit. That's sort of what I'm getting, which is what I was hoping to see. All righty. This is the guy that I said reminded me a little bit of Patrick Bateman. We have denim shirt, maroon, skinny jeans, and some type of suede again or leather brown shoes with tan shoelaces. Nick is 28. He's a luxury watch dealer. He looks like he would be, okay? Looks like he would wear a velvet suit and he's a Capricorn. He also looks like he would potentially talk like this. I can't exactly explain it, but he reminds me of handsome Squidward. Like that's sort of the vibe that I get in case you can't see Nick and you're just listening to this on your drive. This former Dua Lipa, just kidding, Duathlete, continues blazing trip. Oh my God. What is with Utah and Colorado and Wisconsin and the blazing trail? It's always a white person talking about blazing trails. It's very interesting. Just a new observation. Nick started his own business a few years ago, which allowed him to give the 9 to 5 grind, which allowed him to give up the 9 to 5 grind and make time for adventure. I'm most proud of finding a way to live my life on a different tempo and schedule than most, he says. For Nick, that means booking a last minute international trip anytime he spots a good flight, and he's looking for a partner who's down to rack up some air miles, as long as you're buying. I like to go into a trip with a little bit of spontaneity, and I live my life like that. So if every second is planned out, that's not going to work for me. Well, you know what? You're not going to work for me. I wouldn't like him. In the past, Nick has held himself back from going too deep with the people he dates because he's afraid of hurting others. So, heading into the pods, he's excited to be given the time to build a strong connection. Blah, blah, blah. The editors wrote that. We don't really care. Okay, interesting profile picture. If you ever read the book, the childhood book, Mouse and the Motorcycle, it did look a lot like that helmet that he's wearing. I, for one, loved Mouse and the Motorcycle. So that's what I'm immediately thinking of. Interestingly enough, he's from Summit, New Jersey, which is a city that I happen to know very well and is very wealthy. So that's very interesting. Not a place that I can live. Looks like he's already shared some information on the season. I'm seeing that he reposted Story Time with Ricky's video. Okay. These are some of the watches that he sells. Okay. I wonder if he believes in control. He's a douche. For sure, he's a douche. He gives pyramid schemes, don't like his vibe, and I maintain what I said about him looking like Patrick Bateman. This is the guy who said that he likes to make high stakes, risky decisions and loves to play poker for high stakes money and have a high reward. Like I said earlier, we're not having a joint bank account then, Patrick. And, you know, I have some thoughts. Patrick is 31, a construction manager, and a Scorpio. Could romance be in the cards for poker player Patrick? Always cool under pressure. He's not nervous about taking this unconventional approach to finding love, especially since dating as an Asian man and predominantly white Denver has sometimes been difficult. Love that he's addressing that and talking about that. Describing himself as a late bloomer. Listen, if he can win the money, then I take back everything I said. Describing himself as a late bloomer, Patrick says he hasn't found the one yet because he was an immature like this as well. He was immature and insecure earlier in life. I like the self-reflection. The gamble will pay off in spades if Patrick meets someone who matches his easygoing energy. As he puts it, when a girl can just kick it, go with the flow, be spontaneous, that's money. He sounds like a loan shark. For Patrick, that means being able to engage in the natural give and take of conversation because chatterboxes are an automatic ick. Where's the Taylor from Love Island gif of him with the bob? Like, she can't have a chatterbox feeling? She can't have a kid feeling? What do you mean? Hi, Priya. Hi to everybody in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for saying hello. Please like this video. Please continue commenting because every time I come back, I enjoy reading it. Okay. Listen, Patrick, you might need a yapper. You might need a yapper. Though he won the Colorado Poker Championship in 2019, Patrick says he's most proud of being a first generation college graduate. My family came over here from Cambodia in the 1970s, and I was the first in my family to get educated and find success in America. Again, I like when he talks about his experience and doesn't shy away from that. What is this? That looks pretty good. I don't know what that is, but that looks pretty good. Okay, so Patrick likes to travel. I'm assuming Patrick loves a good casino. Patrick wouldn't get a second date for me. That doesn't mean that his perfect match couldn't be there. Moving right along, we have Rohan, who is 27 years old, works in private equity, and is also an Aquarius. A polyglot with a, let's look at his outfit first. The detail on the inside of the suit or like whatever jacket that is pretty interesting. Um, I personally hate a khaki pant and I'm not big on whatever shoes that is. I also think that when Rohan took this picture, they should have instructed him to just lean his head back a little bit because while he's leaned forward like that, it just sort of makes him look shorter than he is. So that's what I'll say about Rohan's pose. But other than that, I think that he's an attractive guy. Moving along, like I said, 27 Aquarius, polyglot with a well stamped passport. Rohan's hoping to find his forever travel buddy. After moving to the US from India when he was 14, he's worked hard to put down roots in Denver. I'm extremely proud of moving to the US and adapting. I didn't speak English and it was really rough and it was a really rough start in the beginning. When it comes to love, Rohan wants to settle down with an open-minded and honest woman. I like that. Extremely curious and friendly, Rohan is always asking questions that draw others out of their shells. and he's looking for a strong communicator who can do the same. I love that as well. He likes a yapper. I don't like being kept in the dark, he says. Excuse me. The one thing Rohan would never give up for a romance is his close friendship with his tight knit family. They taught me how to love. Aw, so if I have to sacrifice my family to be with someone, I don't believe that would end up being a true love. You know what? I can appreciate that and I like it. Let's see. Has 1,041 followers to start. This is a much better look. This suit, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for adding that. Nice to see some Indian representation. Absolutely, Priya. Kimberly, thank you for the blessings for my sneeze. He looks great here. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Listen, Indian weddings, Nigerian weddings. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so glad I went through that. Um, I'm blanking on the name right now for some reason. Henna. The henna he looks fabulous. Okay. I love Rohan. He's very attractive. And I stand on what I said about the pose because he's very attractive. They should have fixed that pose. He's very attractive. Moving along to the women, we finally made it to the women. We made it to the women. All right. Whew, whew, whew. For people who don't know, I have not just been on for 20 minutes. I was on for about an hour before to get through all of the men. Starting with Allie. She's 29, a nurse, and an Aries. I like her dress, even though it is still the boxy dress. I like the color yellow. Okay. Born in Brazil, Allie is a first generation immigrant who's proud to have learned English and built a life in the US. In the pods, she hopes to meet an ambitious and hardworking guy with a similar sense of discipline. Dating in Denver, Allie has encountered a lot of boys who aren't ready to grow up, and she's only in the market for men. She doesn't want a Peter Pan. I'm looking for a leader, somebody that inspires me to be a better person, and somebody that I can do the same for. But Allie has high standards. Any man who wants to date her will need to rise to the occasion, and they'll have to do so with humility because for her, a big ego is a major red flag. True. Plus, he'll have to take the lead on cleaning, as chores are the last thing on her mind while she pursues another degree. If I do find a partner here, they'll have to be okay with me being in school and extremely busy for a couple of years. I like that. You're doing the housework. Plot twist. Um, she's stunning. Ah, Allie. Oh, she's very beautiful. Like what? She's super beautiful. Okay. Moving along. We have Anastasia or Anastasia. Anastasia reminds me, and I'm saying this in like a nice way, like a loving way. She reminds me for some reason of the American Girl doll, potentially like Kit or like Felicity. Um, like when they grew up. I don't know how to explain it, but like that's what she reminds me of. She is 29. She's also a nurse and a Taurus. Let's just see. Okay, we're going to go to her Instagram first. Like, that's what we're going to do first because the photo that they have of her, I'm not going to trust. See, she's a cutie. Very cute, hiking girl. She looks like a granola girl. She's cute. She really reminds me of somebody, and it'll come to me eventually. Okay, going back to her bio. Don't be fooled by Anastasia's dash hound tattoos. It doesn't mean she has a dog. It actually symbolizes all the hot dogs she's eaten on trips to Chicago. Anastasia relishes good communication, and because both of her parents are therapists, she's often complimented on her ability to make others feel heard. Hmm. Excuse me. I have like a period flu going on right now, which is really interesting because so did Jessie Wu. I think our cycles might be linked up. She puts her empathetic nature and listening skills to good use in her career as an oncology nurse. When she's not at the hospital, you can usually find her blowing off steam on the dance floor. Anastasia has danced on stage with Flo Rida and has been known to start dance battles anytime she's out of town. In the past, I've completely lost myself for a partner, and that's not something I will ever do again. Okay, fair. Completely fair. Completely get that. All right. Next up is Anna, who is a hairstylist and a Virgo. Again, let's just start with the Instagrams first. So she's a hairstylist. Looks like she's opening up her own salon. So that's exciting. She's very fashionable, super cute, super cute. And we have some Asian representation. Hmm. If Anna had one piece of advice for men in the dating scene, it would be go to therapy. That's why the key to her heart is emotional maturity. She's searching for an easy and authentic connection with someone not too bro-y who loves going to concerts as much as she does. Like that. Music is a big part of my life. Anna also wants a partner who can calm her mind as she tends to overthink things. She's not willing to give up her core values for love. That includes her political views and focus on family. Love that. If she ever sees a suitor being disrespectful to their parents, she'd immediately get the ick. Love that. Anna's fluent in two languages and keeps a very tidy home. Her friends often comment that her apartment looks sterile, but that doesn't mean she's uptight. Those who know her best call her bubbly, fun, and easygoing. I love Anna. Loving Anna. Moving right along to Annie. She is 31, also, what? A hair salon owner and an Aries. Okay, so we have two hair salon owners now. Let's see. Okay, that's too far away to really gauge. Okay, so lots of pictures of her work and not as many photos of herself. Completely fair. Her Instagram is about her business. Okay, let's see. Annie has no interest in men who are lazy or don't support her ambitions to continue growing her business. She's constantly getting compliments on her long blonde locks, which are almost always perfectly styled. She isn't afraid to rough it. Growing up in a very small town, there were only 25 students in her graduating class. She spent a lot of time camping and fly fishing with her family. She even had a pet cow named Rudolph. While Annie since moved to Colorado's biggest city all by herself, she still looks up to her dad, who's never let her down. She also tends to compare all of her relationships to her parents' fantastic marriage. Hopefully, someone can live up to that high bar. Annie, this reminds me of everybody else. Annie, moving on to the next. Okay, we have this beautiful woman named Ashley, who is 35, a director of compliance, and also an Aries. It seems like we have lots of Aries and lots of Gemini men. Let's look at Ashley's Instagram. Starting out with 786 followers. Let's see. I'm alpha, but I'm willing to follow if you have direction. Love her quote. Vacationing in Rome. Love that she's with her friends and family. She's a foodie. She loves football. Looks like she is competitive. Yep. There we go. Looks like she was in track. Okay. Love her. Love her. Ashley's friends and family says that she beats to the rhythm of her own drum, but since she's been single forever, Ashley's starting to get a little tired of keeping up that beat all on her own. I wouldn't consider myself to have ever been in a real relationship. Why? According to Ashley, she's an alpha in all areas of her life, especially when it comes to work, which leaves little time to date. Let me rest and be confident that you're going to keep me safe and that you can make a decision, she says. I'm willing to follow if you have direction. In other words, to get with Ashley, you've got to be a boss person. Did they make that up? Especially if you're going to join in on her favorite family tradition, an annual Christmas Eve game that usually involves a lot of trash talk. Okay, love that. They have a game night. I like misread that and thought they did like a turkey bowl type thing, like with football. No, they have a game night. Love that. Super cute. I have a good feeling about her and I hope that she's able to find a genuine connection. I think that I'm like maybe talk to Deo, okay? Because he seems like he would let you do your own stuff, do some leading. Up next, we have Aza, who is 32, an events manager, and an Aquarius. Okay, looks like we have a decent amount of Aquariuses, which has always been a complaint of mine because we have a shortcoming. She has 1,682 followers, or 28, reverse that. Let's see. In this photo, she kind of looks like Chelsea if I saw her at first glance. Chelsea loved the denim, loved the boots, loved the cowgirls. Actually, in more than a couple of these photos, she reminds me of Chelsea. What's the chat saying? No Aquarius slander. Exactly. I'm an Aquarius. February 9th, baby. If you ever need to find Aza, look for her. I'm sorry, look for the nearest concert. In the last year, she went to 37, and now she's searching for the perfect partner and exploring the music scene. Wow. Even among big crowds, her friends describe her as the most positive and happy person in the room. In relationships, however, that's a double-edged sword, as Aza never wants to start a potentially negative conversation and tends to hold things in. Aza likes to make sure that those around her are having a good time. So, of course, she values people who carry that same respect for others. That's a weight to carry when you always do things for others and they don't necessarily do the same. It's a key quality, reciprocation, right? It's a key quality that she'll be looking for in the pods. Despite always being on the go and constantly cooking up fun, Aza's actually quite introverted and enjoys solitude. I'm very independent and love the life I built for myself, so I have high standards and won't settle for just anybody. I like Aza as well. I have a good feeling about her. Tamara says, hello, excited for the season. And are you watching Love is Blind France? I put it on just before I came on here. So when we hang up, I will be finishing. And yes, I think I will be watching. Ah, China. She's beautiful. I already know this is China because I saw her video earlier. She's stunning, stunning. Love the heels. The heels make a boxy dress better. These particular type of heels. Okay. She's 39 years old and she's a marketing manager and a Leo. Additionally, she has the figure to not make this look like a boxy dress because the hips are filled in. It looks great. Right. Right. Oh, let's look at her Instagram first because that's the order that I've been doing things. Oh my God, I love her username, the Black Superwoman. 1,047 followers. Oh, she's stunning. She's stunning. She's beautiful. She looks like she is very self-sufficient and she looks very successful as well. If you just look at the surface, you might think I'm a diva, but this makeup artist is a secret goof who's hoping to find a partner accepting of her many quirks and tendency to laugh at her own jokes. Same. Plus, she couldn't care less if you don't wear name brand clothing as long as it's freshly laundered. Dirty underwear gives me the ick. I'll throw the fuck up right now. Yes. After 5 years of being single, China just wants to connect with a self assured man who puts in the effort and is consistent. Qualities that have been severely lacking in the Denver dating scene. I've not given up on love, but I'm not settling until I find someone who's serious about me. That someone will also have to share China's strong faith and not be too bothered by her sarcasm, which, for the record, she's working on. We're working on it. Up next, we have Hillary. By the way, loved China. Love. She's a Leo, already love her. Hillary, I don't know what's worse than the Sunday Stompers, but these are like, what are these? These look like she's a disciple following Jesus for a very long time on Palm Sunday. These are like Palm Sunday steppers. These are like she's walking around. She can really go the distance with these. I also just don't think they're cute. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. Hillary's 39. She's medical device sales and she's a Gemini. Hillary's beautiful. I hate her shoes. I think that's fair. And I think that the dress is way too long to be wearing these shoes. That's really what accentuates the Last Supper, Passover type vibe. Now, she has the most amount of followers out of anybody that we've looked at so far with 17.2 thousand followers. And is this real or is this like fake? Okay, she was in Sports Illustrated. Wow. Very cool. She's very beautiful. That picture really didn't do her much justice. She's a golfer. She's a golf girly. Okay. She's super cool. Okay. She might be conservative, can't really catch too much of a vibe, but she was in Sports Illustrated. Is there any more? Is there any more? Like, what's good? Let's see. If this takes more than 5 seconds, we're out. We're out. Moving back. This girl reminds me so much of Kristen Cavallari. And if not Kristen Cavallari, then she reminds me of what's his name from the show Flip or Flop? Tarek, who's always on live begging for money. This looks like Tarek's first wife, Heather, and Kristen Cavallari all together. I can't put my finger on it, but she just reminds me of them all. Her name is Casey. She's 34, a hair and makeup cancer, and she's a cancer. Let's look at her Instagram. She is beautiful, but she reminds me, and all three of those women are beautiful. She reminds me of them. All righty. She's a gym girly. Drunk cigs don't count. She likes to party. I still maintain the lookalikes that I said she looks like. Okay. As the comedian of her friend group, Casey's searching for a sarcastic guy who communicates through funny movie quotes just like her. Though she loves to laugh, she's also a big crier, so any man that wants to be with her should also have a soft side. Casey's excited by the prospect of connecting with other singles. Whatever. In this experiment. In the past, she's built relationships around initial attraction, which has only ever led to heartbreak. She also typically dates younger guys. So in the pods, she hopes to close the age gap. Interesting. Also, like Kristen Cavallari, right? If she met an outgoing and intentional person who doesn't mind that she's constantly singing show tunes, she'll accept a proposal and even invite them to join her fantasy football league. I can tell you right now that Casey likely is conservative and I likely wouldn't get along with her. This dress reminds me a little bit of the dress from My Date with the President's Daughter. My Date with the President's Daughter. Oh, yeah. So, for that reason, I kind of like it. Yeah. I maintain that. Kate is 33, spelled Kait. Okay. She's a registered dietitian. The spelling of dietitian, it shouldn't be spelled like that. There should be a C in there instead of dietitan. That's something I'll always say. And she's a Cancer. Let's see her Instagram. Every time someone's a Cancer, the only thing that pops in my head is she was a Cancer. Bow, bow. She was a Cancer. Bow, bow. Is that the song? No. Okay. She looks very Utah. Barbie. People's casting, I swear to God, I maintain this on every show. I'm not being mean to just this cast. On every reality show, I swear to God, they set them up with the casting photos. I don't know, because she doesn't look like her casting photo. Up next, we have the beautiful, I believe it's pronounced Calabria. It may be Kaylee Bria. Ow, my neck. Did you guys hear that? Oh my God. Maybe I got it wrong because God like instantly gave me a tinge in the neck. I think it's jury's out. I think it could be Calabria, could be Calabria, could be Calabria. So we'll leave the jury out. She's stunning. Her name is stunning. So I can't wait to be able to pronounce it correctly. She's 29, a social worker, and a Virgo. I found out recently I actually love women who are Virgos. I don't know. I love them. Let's look at her Instagram. Am I there? Oh, I'm already sharing the tab. Let's go. Go me. She has 10.2 thousand followers. Let's go. FSU alumna. Love it. She also has a travel fitness page. Love that. It's okay to be obsessed with me. Love the caption. She's stunning. Oh my God. What was that caption in 365 days? But this one is mine. If I don't do nothing, I do the most. Her captions are great. He wanted a view, so I gave him 2. Hashtag dump. She's great. I know I go missing. I like when you miss me. Ah, and if you ever get a hold of me, you better hold on. These are great. I love her. Social media director. I don't know. She could be. She could be. Her future husband will have to be in love with the sound of her voice. Yes, she's a yapper because she talks a lot, and values men who actually listen. Good thing that this experiment is all about conversation. Calabria wants a husband who will continue to put in the work after the I do's. They should love me for who I am today and be willing to love me when I am a new person in 5 years. I love that. She says, oh God, why did I read that? But to make it to the aisle, Calabria knows she'll have to change her dating habits. I fall in love with potential, guilty, and stay too long after seeing red flags. I hope this experience helps her change that. The biggest one in the pods will be if someone asks about appearance and doesn't lean into vulnerability. But if she leaves the experiment with the sporty man of her dreams, she can't wait to meal prep and gym for the rest of their days. Don't tell Chicken Smoothie that because that might be what you're making, you know? Okay. Kaylin. Kaylin is 29 years old, wearing what is this called? A, not cotton, a something pastel blue. There's a certain word that I'm looking for. It'll come when it comes. She's an account executive and a Pisces. Let's see her Instagram. She has 2,181 followers. She's stunning. Sister. August, you were good to me. Oh, she's been posting recently. Okay. Love that. She's stunning. She loves to travel. Let's read about her. She grew up charismatic. Kaylin grew up in a martial arts family, and she won't hesitate to give negative guys the chop. Love it. Instead, she's looking for a lover of life, a lover of other humans, and a lover of animals. Love it. Caitlin strives to spread light in darkness and remind everyone in her life what makes them special. The same goes for her romantic relationships. Love. Don't take her kindness for weakness. Kaylin knows how she has people pleasing tendencies. After a year of being single, finding love has been a winding road, but Kaylin hopes to leave the pods with a guy who will drive through the Colorado mountains with her and off into the sunset. She's stunning. I love her bio. Love her. This is the girl who had the sad bio. I remember immediately. Her name is Madison. She is 28 years old and a UX/UI designer, and she is a Leo. Let's look at Madison's Instagram. The key to my heart is good banter and big arms. That's interesting because she does look like she could be British, the banter aspect. She's very beautiful. Yeah, she's stunning. She's absolutely stunning. In pursuit of love, Madison went on 41st dates last year, but came up empty. Now she's taking her search to the pods in hopes of finding a man with gentle energy, good banter, and last but not least, thick thighs. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay, thick thighs, baby. For Madison, this isn't just an experiment. She said, "Put my head between them." She actually has a oh, great. Of course, I'm making a joke right before a serious sentence. She actually has a blinding eye disease, which could cause her to one day lose her vision. Love is blind, and I might be too. So I need to find someone that can stimulate my brain outside of physicality. Vivacious with a great vocabulary, Madison is very accomplished for her age. She graduated from high school at 16 and has built a successful career that allowed her to have her first home at 26. Wow. Her future partner may be bothered by her habit of leaving cabinet and drawers open, but at least she also has a very open mind and heart. She seems very, very, very sweet. Thick thigh guys are great. She does look British. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Going down. Let's see how many more people there are just because I really, TMI, have to pee. I really have to pee. I drink way too much water. Oh my God, perfect. 3 people. What? I can do that. Up next is Megan H. Megan H. I love the color of her dress. I think it's just really pretty. And she's, you know, not wearing those horrible Palm Sunday stilettos or whatever the fuck those were. Let's look at Megan H's Instagram. I want somebody who reciprocates my energy and my warmth. I love it. She has 4 photos. I love it. Rooftop season, 684 followers. I love it. There's a lot of Bible verses in virtually every single person's bios this season. I just want to point out. And I've been saying that we're going to see a shift in reality television going more and more conservative. And that's been the case for the last 8 months, maybe longer, probably longer. So Megan's 36, a property manager, and a Gemini. She is a gamer. She has a Zelda inspired tattoo. And she says that she is passionate about her and her partner having separate hobbies. One thing Megan does hope to share her part with her forever partner is spirituality. Extremely self-sufficient, she sometimes struggles to ask for help, especially since she's used to making it work on her own. She even renovated her entire basement all by herself. Wow. She couldn't go through life without her friends and family who have shaped her for the better. Megan can't wait to introduce someone special to them. Love it. She wants him to have his own friends. Did I look at her Instagram yet? I did. Okay, she only had 4 photos. That's why. Up next is Megan W. So we have two Megans spelled the same, but H and W. Just coming out of Love Island with Zach C and Zach K. Almost feels normal at this point. Megan W is 35, an entrepreneur and an Aries. Let's look at her Instagram. She's starting out with 2,352 followers. She's sadistic because she's running the Red Rocks for a workout. That's crazy. But in all seriousness, she looks cute. I like the fact that her photos, yes, you can tell she likes to have a cute looking grid, but I like the fact that she just doesn't do, too much. She's cute. Megan loves anything that sparkles, so her friends call her Sparkle nickname. As a self described type A perfectionist, this entrepreneur has seen the fruits of her labors. In her 20s, she found a lot of financial success, which now allows her to enjoy the finer things in life. But Megan still believes she's very down to earth. She reminds me of Michelle from Married at First Sight. Treating others with respect is incredibly important. So if you're brunching with her, you better be polite to the wait staff. Yep. Men are intimidated by my level of success. And hey, a tall guy with muscles wouldn't hurt either. I'm moving around a little. Megan knows she's asking for a lot, but with her tight schedule, I thought I was about to say something crazy. With her tight schedule, she simply doesn't have time for anything less. I know who I am and what I deserve. I have to cackle at myself. I have to cackle at myself. Why do I think that there is a shift in conservative media? Because, as always, I think that reality TV is a good marker of where we are as a society, of some of the problems that exist in our society. And I think it's just a mirror of things that are going on. So it was unsurprising to me after the results of the election that media would get more and more conservative, and has been with both the casting choices. It feels like production companies either just go where the money is and it's nothing deeper, or have always wanted to have their shows go in this direction and now have the opportunity. It seems like there's a real shift in pushback of uh diversity as well in the casting. McBee Dynasty getting signed to Bravo was a great example because that's a very conservative show. Moving right along, we have Shelby. Shelby looks like a Shelby. Never seen anybody who looks more like a Shelby. She looks like an actress who always plays the role of like the quirky friend who's kind of like stalkerish. That's who she reminds me of. And that's no shade towards Shelby because she's still a beautiful woman. But I can't think of the actress, but she's like a dead ringer for her. Hate the heels. Hate the heels. Don't like them one bit. That's okay. 35 years old. Shelby's a realtor and a Scorpio. Let's check the IG. She has 4,477 followers. Her profile photo is her posing with an open house. The next photo, oh, this is funny because you can tell that she was on Love is Blind because it's the gold cup that they get there. Okay. Okay. Shelby's a blonde from Denver, right? As a boss lady real estate agent, Shelby knows how to seal a deal, but she still hasn't found a guy who feels like home. Perhaps it's because of the Denver dating pool, which is full of super outdoorsy men who just don't do it for her. She wants an indoorsy man. I like someone who can put themselves together, says Shelby. She wants a manicured, preppy cowboy. In the pods, she's hoping the right guy with the right manners lassos her attention. She might like the watch guy. Men need to be chivalrous, learn how to court properly, and be a gentleman, she adds. But most of all, Shelby is searching for a partner who will make her feel emotionally taken care of through life's ups and downs. Valid. When she finds him, she has plenty to bring to the table. The compliment I receive the most from others is I exude confidence and I have a good butt. Okay, fair. Shelby, someone said Shelby is Shelbying. Yes. Yes, she certainly is. That's the cast. What do I think? There's a little bit of diversity. I'm glad that we have some Asian representation. I'm glad we have some Indian representation. I'm glad that we have Black women and some Black men, but I wish that there was more of all of it. It seems like a very white cast, sort of mimicking the white dating scene that some of the contestants were talking about. And I think being gracious, the men are generally pretty lackluster, at least physically, and they might look a lot better on screen. But like I would say kind of underwhelming. Kind of underwhelming. Am I going to watch Love is Blind Denver? Yes. Am I going to watch Love is Blind France? Yes. Am I going to watch Love is Blind Brazil? Maybe, because now you're getting carried away. How many am I supposed to fit in? But am I going to enjoy it? Probably not. To quote Jessie Wu, Chris Colleen's raggedy ass will never make things just outright enjoyable. Most of the time, I don't do a cast review in the latest years of the podcast just because we get attached to 30 some people. We're like, wow, what a great opportunity to show some diversity and some representation. And then those people stories, they just are like, we're not going to follow. We're not interested. So that's pits. Like that's pits. That's annoying. And it's time after time. Time after time. We're going to get off. Thank you for reviewing the cast with me. I'm going to do another video with more predictions, but I feel like I need to let all of this seep in before I just judge too much and match people together. So I'm going to mull it over. I'm going to think on it, and I'm going to let my intuition kick in. I'm also going to be over on TikTok with a short form video of just some quick thoughts. I hope everybody has an amazing day before you hop out of here. Like the stream, leave a comment, make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast. Have an amazing day. And if you want to try Audible, make sure that after this, you go to the notes of my show and you use the link because you can sign up for a free trial. You can also support the show by signing up for a free trial, and you can keep up with your books while you're busy. I hope everybody has an amazing day. Thanks for spending time with me into your weekend. Bye-bye.